presentation, which I call the Ambassador of Goodwill. This picture is of Srila Prabhupada in his room in Radha Damodar, at the Radha Damodar temple, his small room there to the side of Radha Damodar, where he sat for many, many years, almost a decade, and wrote his Srimad Bhagavatam commentaries and began to conceive of fulfilling the order of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to bring Krishna consciousness to America. And many stories from here, but meditating on Prabhupada here, that his heart is simply filled with compassion and determination for bringing this Krishna consciousness to the world, beginning with America, which of course we all know he did. And he came as ambassador of goodwill. He didn't come to make money. Most people, they come across the ocean or they fly here and there. Most people on the airplane today, they're going somewhere and they're making money. Most of the business people, I want to make money. But Prabhupada didn't come to make money. Prabhupada came to give. He came to give. He came to give the best thing, this Krishna consciousness, the holy names, and the understanding of how to go back home, back to Godhead. He came to give gifts, unlimited gifts, and he had them to give. So he came as an ambassador of goodwill. And that's what we are also supposed to do. We are also supposed to be ambassadors of goodwill. We're not going out to make money. We're not going out to do anything except for give compassion and show kindness to other living beings by being perfect examples of what a spiritual person, a spiritual man or woman is supposed to be like, is supposed to act like. So when we go out to perform Sankirtan, we should remember this, that we go out with no motive in our heart, no personal motive, only to extend the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to others. Next door. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Next. He for whom no one is put into difficulty, and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety, is very dear to me. These, of course, are beautiful verses from the Bhagavad Gita in the 12th chapter. There are others that follow that, but I've included these two in this particular presentation as a meditation for how we should feel, how we should think when we go out to preach. That we're going out to give something important, and that each person we should treat as a friend, that we should see their soul, that they're a living entity, and we're trying to do good for them. And we shouldn't put anyone into difficulty. And we shouldn't also be disturbed as well when we go out, because there are many causes for disturbance. Actually, we should disturb ourselves, though, because this is required. Prabhupada could have stayed in Vrindavan, but he disturbed himself to follow the order of his spiritual master. So we should also disturb ourselves. It's not easy sometimes to get up and go out. But one devotee, Bhakta George, one of my favorite devotees I've ever met, who lives in the Bay Area and loves to go on book distribution, always has a big smile on his face. And he was telling me the other day that the hard part about going out on Sankirtan is just going out. But once you get there, he said, once I get out, then I'm happy. And I feel like I'm at home. Next. The goal. People will remember and tell others about the experience they had with me. Therefore, I must always do my best to leave each person I meet with a good impression. So there was a group of new devotees going out on book distribution from our temple at ISKCON Silicon Valley. That's ISV for short. We call our Sankirtan team Team ISV. And they were going out to one devotee named Adi Guru, very enthusiastic young man, and he's going every weekend now to the Santa Cruz area, which is an area where there's a lot of sort of modern California type people and preaching. And before he went out, I said, so what is the goal? And he said, to distribute books. I said, no, that's secondary goal. First goal is that you leave every person with a good impression. Whether they take a book, don't take a book, whether they live there or they're walking up and down the street, they have a shop there, whatever, do your best to be an ambassador of goodwill and meet everybody with some gift, either a smile or a piece of prasadam or a book, and go out with that mood to leave every single person with a good feeling that you're a sadhu, that you're a person who's cultivating spiritual value. And this is your goal. So he wrote, after he went out, he wrote this very nice, we have what we call, and we'll talk about this later, the Good News Action Broadcast. GNAB, NAB. And the Good News Action Broadcast means as soon as you go out on Sankirtan, you'll see miracles will happen, wonderful things will happen. Bring those back with you and share them with everybody. We broadcast them we have a group for the Sankirtan group on the Yahoo groups. So when the devotees come back, they report their score, how many books distributed, how much prasadam they gave out. Not exactly how much prasadam, but that they did give out prasadam. And then they'll report anything that happened. So Adi Guru, when he came back, he reported on his Good News Action broadcast that we made good impression with many people. And then the shopkeepers, and he said even policemen were taking prasadam from me, and they were very happy, and some young children. And he said, and also we distributed 20 books. So this is the idea, that we go out with this mood, that we go out to meet people and make them feel like they've met somebody of substance, of quality, and that has love in their heart, that's out there to give them something. And even if somebody scorns you, we should tolerate, like Lord Nityananda. This is our sadhana. We go out and we practice this. Of course, there are times when we have to stand up we have to not lose our posture. And we have to stand up for our philosophy or for our devotees, for our spiritual master, and we stand firm. We don't lose our posture. But we do the best we can to leave everyone with a good feeling. I'll give you another story. When I was in Honolulu with my friend Satyadev, when we were going out every day to distribute books on Waikiki, there was a lot of honeymooners there. And one set of honeymooners, I'll never forget this, that I met them and I showed them a Bhagavad Gita and I explained it to them, and then I told them that we were accepting donations to cover the printing cost. And then they said, we really don't want the book because we're Christians. You never heard that before here in Dallas, right? And also they said, and we can't donate to this because we don't believe in this cause and what you're doing exactly. We're a different faith. And I was in a great mood because I was with my friend Satyadev, and we've been hearing and chanting at the temple. And I shook the man's hand, and I looked him in the face, and I said, that's okay. It was just an